What do we have here, guys? What's going on, guys? Today we're going to review my 2020 Widebody Hellcat Charger. This body style is new for 2020 on the Chargers. They went with the wide body just like they did on the two-door Challengers. I've always been a fan of the Chargers over the Challengers. I've had three, this is actually four. This is my fourth Charger I've had. I had a 2012 all-wheel drive with the 5.7 Hemi, and then I had a Scat Pack in 2016, and then I got a Hellcat in 2017, and then this is my new Hellcat for 2020. So this car is insane. I've been driving it for about 2 days now, so it's brand new to me, and I have to say I love the car. I absolutely love the car. From the body lines to the performance to just the stance, I mean, you can't beat these cars for what they are. So to start off, we'll start off from the front. The hood is the same as the previous generation Hellcat Chargers. It's got the 3 scoops. The front of the car is much more aggressive than the previous model, the skinny body, I would say. The wide body is just way more aggressive. The whole front bumper is different. This scoop here is all new. The formation and the body lines of the bumper are all different. These down here are vents. There's no fog lights in there. Those are to cool the brakes, and also to cool the oil coolers are behind there. So they had to put them somewhere. So there's no fog lights on Hellcats. And then here's where the major difference is on the wide body. It's going to be right here on these Fender Flares. As you can see, they have these massive Fender Flares. Looks like the doors are the same as the previous body. The only thing they changed was adding the additional fender flare here along with the side skirts. The side skirts are definitely different on the wide body. So there you have it. There's a side profile of the car. This thing's just so aggressive, guys. I'm stoked I got one. And then of course you've got the fender flares in the rear. And then the whole rear bumper is different from the previous body. It looks about the same, but if you can tell, it's a little wider, and there's different body lines where the vents are back here, and also on the bottom splitter, or I guess you would, yeah, valance. There's no, like, it looks a little different on this one. So for the new 2020 wide body Charger Hellcat, they come with 305, 35, 20 all-season Pirelli tires all the way around, front and back. And they are on an 11-inch wide wheel. So the stance and the drivability of this car is much more improved than the previous body. I can just tell from owning both, this car handles a lot better around the corners, and is definitely, you can put it in the corner a lot quicker than the last one, because the wider wheels definitely make a difference as far as handling goes. And of course, you can't beat the stance of the car with 305s all the way around. It looks nice out here, guys, but it's a blistering 27 degrees, cold day here in Michigan. This car comes equipped with 707 horsepower to the crank. It's about 665 wheel horsepower. The only reason I know that is because I had a buddy put one on the dyno, and it made 665 wheel horsepower bone stock out of the 6.2 liter Hemi engine that this car comes with. And then of course it has the supercharger, the 2.3 liter supercharger root style blower on this car. And I will go ahead and pop the hood for you guys and show you what's new for 2020 under the hood of this 2020 wide body Charger Hellcat. Alright guys, so for 2020, under the hood looks about the same as the previous models. However, they added their own oil separator, oil catch can, as you will, right here on the top of the strut tower here. What this does is, I had one on my old car. I had an aftermarket JLT oil catch can, which used to go right here off of this bolt here. Used to sit right here, and what that does is it collects blow-by oil. Supercharged or any forced induction cars, supercharged turbo cars, whatever, they create a lot of blow-by oil. What that means is after running the car hard for, you know, many miles, and you shut it off, there's still oil running down from the supercharger on the top of your cylinder here. So what this is almost like a vent tube that they designed from Chrysler, which I'm sure they did it because everybody put an oil catch can on their cars if you had one, and they made one from the factory sit right here. What this does is it moves all your blow-by oil into this separator and then back into the intake, so that unused oil isn't sitting on the top of your heads there. So that's one cool thing that they did different on this model. So other than that, that's pretty much it. Under the hood looks about the same as my 2017 Charger Hellcat did. They really didn't change much except for that oil catch can that now comes installed from the factory. Now let's move on to the inside of the car, and I will show you guys what kind of interior I got with this one. Alright guys, moving on to the interior. I went ahead and ordered it with the Delmonico Red Laguna leather. Check this out, guys. I don't know if you can tell in the camera, there's a shadow, but I went with the Delmonico Red Laguna soft leather that they offer. I could have gotten, you know, black leather and suede like my old car. I could have gotten I call it the peanut butter interior. It's like a saddle brown color. But I wanted to go ahead and have the white on red interior, the bloody guts, as you will. I absolutely love it. This leather in here is so soft. I don't know if you guys ever experienced Laguna leather in your life, but it is the softest leather I've ever felt. It feels so much different than my old car. I had Napa leather in my old car, and it doesn't even compare. And if you order Delmonico Red interior, you get the SRT floor mats with the red, I don't know if you can tell with the shadow, it's got red piping around the mats. I thought that was pretty cool. Also new for 2020 that I noticed, the dash is now leather wrapped. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but it's leather wrapped with some white stitching all the way around. That's a nice feature that they added, because in my 2017 Charger, it came with like a plasticky, rubbery texture. It was very cheap to me. When you're spending over $70,000 on a vehicle, it should come with a leather wrap dash, in my opinion. But so they went ahead and did that. They also redesigned the dash emblem here. It's like a carbon fiber background with a red SRT logo, and they put a little indent here. I don't know what that's for, but my other car did not have that as well. But the white stitching on the leather wrap dash all the way around really sets it off in the inside here. Red start stop button, which that was like that on my 2017. Nothing new there. Nothing new with the console. Everything else seems to be the same from my 2017 Charger Hellcat. However, there are a few new options that the 2020 Charger Hellcats come with, and I'm going to go ahead and start the car up for you now. And we're going to go through here and go through all the different options that it offers. So when you click the SRT dashboard button, this new dashboard comes up. My old car didn't have this. This is pretty cool. So in here you have your track, your sport, your custom, and your auto tunes all up top there, and you can, you know, program each parameter how you want. And then over here you've got drive modes. Drive modes is what I was just talking about. So when you turn the car on, your auto, like, default mode is 707 horsepower, your transmission's on street, paddle shifters are on, traction, suspension, and steering, well, traction and suspension are on street, and then steering's on sport. So that's like the basic stock automatic configuration that you know have when you start the vehicle. Now I go ahead and I go to custom, and I customize my own you know, parameters here. I have obviously the power on 707 horsepower, transmission on track, paddle shifters on, of course, traction on sport, suspension on street, which is it's a little secret I have. The street suspension makes it softer so it hooks better, and then the steering I have on sport because I don't want to you know, have it tight steering. So those are my parameters. So there's my custom tune settings. You can go to sport, and that's the parameters for sport, and then track. Everything's red. So that's all the same for my 2017. You can go to track setup and basically pick all the different parameters you want. If you go back to the SRT dashboard, you've got this new launch control setting here. My 17 did not have this in this configuration, at least. You can set your RPMs on which you want to activate launch control. I can't do any of this until I hit 500 miles, so I won't be able to show you guys how it all works, but basically going through the different parameters that, you know, the SRT dashboard offers. And then you've also got race options here. This here shows your line lock, your launch control, shift light, and then race cooldown mode. This is really cool here where it shows your intercooler temps. So that's basically it for the performance pages and the SRT dashboard. For any of you wondering what kind of radar detector I have a Valentine 1, and I don't normally have this cord. I have it hot wired into the mirror power up here. I'm actually getting ready to do that today, so maybe I'll make a video on that, so stay tuned for that. I don't run the cords, it's not all over the dash. I actually hot wire it into the mirror so that when you, or hardwire, so when you turn the vehicle on, the radar turns on, just like it does with the cord, but there's no cord hanging on your dash, and it gets tucked away up here in the corner, and it's not an eyesore. So I'm going to be doing that today, so stay tuned for that. Moving on to the back seat, nothing's changed really. The demonic red interior is basically the only difference between this and my old 2017 Hellcat, but we got that there. We've got 2 USB ports in the back along with the heated seats for the rear as well. So there you have it, folks. New for 2020 on the wide bodies, they went with a different rear spoiler on the Chargers, and I really like it. It forms the trunk and the body lines of the car much better than the previous, I'd say, skinny body like my 2017 Charger had. So I really like the spoiler on this car. Stay tuned for more videos on this car, guys. I have a lot of modifications coming for it. I have tons of content we're going to be creating for it this summer. Like I said, there's just tons of stuff I got coming for this car. So make sure you guys stay tuned and hit that subscribe button. Here's another look at the new wheel design for 2020. Like I mentioned before, they're 11-inch wide wheels with 305, 35, 20 Pirelli tires all the way around. I do have some drag radials coming for the rear, so stay tuned for that. I'll do a video on those and let you know what tires I went with for the drag radials, because as you guys know, the stock Pirelli tires that come on a 707 horsepower Hellcat do not do justice, well, as far as hooking goes. Sure, they handle great, they work great in the rain, but as far as hooking and putting that 707 horsepower to the ground, it just does not work. Especially in the cold, you know, on cold days like today. I'm gonna hop in the car, throw the GoPro up on the windshield, and show you guys, you know, what I mean by that, how it just spins. But yeah, I have some drag radials coming for the rear of the 2020 Hellcat, so stay tuned for that. Alright guys, enough with all the talk. Let's hop in this beast and see what she can do on this cold 27-degree day. Alright guys, so we're in my new 2020 wide-body Charger Hellcat. This thing's insane. I had a Hellcat before, so it's not like, oh my god, it's the fastest thing on earth, but it still is nice after coming out of, I mean, I haven't had my Hellcat since July, so getting back into something with some horsepower definitely feels good. So, we have the car in my custom mode, as I showed you, and we are going to do some pulls for you guys, and just show you that this car with 700 horsepower on a 29-degree, it's 29 out now, sun's out, looks beautiful, but it's cold. Show you that on a 29-degree day, how these 305 Pirelli tires just do not hook, and it's quite dangerous. The car just gets silly. So we're gonna try to be safe about it and not get too crazy, but I want to show you guys, you know, what this car can actually do. I just love the way these Chargers feel inside. I mean, they're so comfortable, wide, big, spacious, and just overall just comfortable. I mean, you got the feel of a race car when you grab that steering wheel and hit that throttle. You know, 700 horsepower, it's fast, but if you want to just take it out with the wife and kids, you put them in the car, you go out to dinner, and it acts like a normal car. I mean, it's the best of both worlds. You get your luxury and your performance for, you know, really one low cost. I mean, I'll go over all of the, you know, costs and window sticker and let you guys know how much I paid for it and got it for and all that later. But just driving this thing just puts a smile on your face, and it's just all around a great car. Alright guys, so I'm gonna bump it down into second gear at about 40 miles an hour and see what this thing can do. Mind you, it's 30 degrees out, so it's cold. Probably won't hook, but we're gonna try it. feet, and you're constantly swerving left and right. Not fun, but that gives you an understanding on what this car can do at 40 miles an hour in second gear. It just lights it up. As you can see, it was just like, I left tracks even. I looked in the review, I had tracks back there. Just crazy. Alright guys, so now I'm in third gear. I'm gonna hit it right around 60 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour in third gear, and let's see what this thing can do. I'll ease into it this time. Holy crap! Third gear to fourth gear was 100 miles an hour. Crazy. Oh man. Coming up on an accident. I don't know what that was about, but wow guys, this thing is just stupid fast. Like I said, it puts a smile on your face. That feeling is the best feeling in the world. Another thing I want to mention to you guys is I only have 52 miles on this car. What I mean by that is this car doesn't fully break in and give you all 707 horsepower until you hit 500 miles. So at 500 miles, I will give you guys another update video and show you guys how this car really does perform stock, but at its full potential. Right now, when you look at the boost gauge, which I didn't turn the camera around, but when you look at the boost gauge right now, we're only pushing 8 pounds of boost. This car, stock, pushes anywhere from 10 to 11 pounds of boost. So that's a pretty significant amount of horsepower that we're losing right now, which I understand why they do it. You know, they want the proper break-in miles, you know, up until 500 miles. That way you don't, you know, everything seats right and everything will be okay. And so you don't harm anything, any parts in the engine. So, but anyway, like I said, this car, those last 2 pulls you guys just saw, that was not even at its full potential. So I can't even imagine what this car, what monster this car is going to be in, you know, 400 more miles. And this is insane. There's really no words for it. Until you go drive one and feel for yourself, it's hard to tell on camera how astonishing this car really is. So if you guys have the opportunity to go test drive one, or a friend has one, hit them up, go try it. I mean, once you drive one and even just ride in one, you're gonna want to go buy one. That's exactly everybody I've ever given a ride in my Hellcats, they're like, oh my god, I gotta go buy one after I give them a ride. I mean, they're one of a kind cars. I mean, everybody talks about how heavy they are, they're boats, they're this, they're that. Yeah, okay, they're heavy, they're 4,600 pounds. I get it, it's a heavy car, but it's got the horsepower to back it up. When you're driving it, you don't feel like it's heavy. I mean, it drives like a normal car, and when you're racing somebody and you're in it, it doesn't feel heavy at all. So, and even around corners, I mean, they corner great for how big of a car they are. So I have no complaints when it comes to, oh, they're heavy. It's like, okay, you got a ZL1 Camaro, line up, let's try it. You know, you got a Z06 Corvette, line up, let's try it, see how heavy these cars really are. I've raced both of those in my other Hellcat, and I beat them both, stock for stock, you know. So these cars, you know, a lot of people hate on these cars because it is the best bang for your buck. You get the luxury and the performance all in one, and that's basically all I have for you guys today on today's little driving vlog. So make sure you guys stay tuned to my channel. I have a lot of content coming with this car and with other, you know, my truck and my Harley and everything else, but this car especially, I have a lot of mods coming for it, a lot of content. Summer is not even here yet. We're just getting into spring. We have a lot of different car events we're going to be going to this summer, and rallies, etc., etc. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. We're at 15K. Let's try to hit 20,000 subs by May. My birthday's in May. That's just a little personal goal I have in mind. I want to hit 20,000 subs by May. So make sure you guys share this video, subscribe, hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. I'm new to this whole vlogging thing. I usually just don't, you know, show my face. It's hard for me to talk on camera, I'll admit it to you guys, just because I always screw up and whatever. But anyway, if you guys like the video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate all your support. I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you guys. I'm just being honest with you. And make sure you guys stay tuned for more videos, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.